Celtics, two beasts in the East. Which player has the most to prove? A lot of stars in this one.
In this one?
Yeah. Kyrie?
I would say Jason Tatum.
Oh, okay.
This is your moment. Jason Tatum is a star, but he is going up against one of the greatest superstars this league has ever seen in Kevin Durant and another in Kyrie Irving. You got to average 30 in this series.
Yeah.
And you got to have at least a couple of 40-point games. You really, really do in order to win this series if you're Jason Tatum in Boston.
Yeah. Who you got, Tim?
Completely agree. It's Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Like I said, he wants to pull up a chair to that table, that elite select table of a couple of guys. This is your moment, man, and no better person to do it against than Kevin Durant. So you're going to have to not only do what Stephen A. said, the other thing he's going to have to do, he's going to have to win the important moments, the defining moments in the fourth quarters of the 2 or 3 games we have that are one possession with a couple minutes ago. He's got to be the guy that comes through, and that's
all I ask for in return from this series. I want Tatum and Kevin Durant spending a chunk of time guarding.
Yes, and they did the last time they played.
Yeah, that's a good matchup right there. All right, let's stay in the East because I got 2 Philly cats here. Well, Stephen A. sort of. You're really a New York cat. Meanwhile, James Harden still has to prove he's that dude in the playoffs. Only Elgin Baylor and Karl Malone have more career playoff points without you-know-what. That would be the title. Harden, though, he's not stressed, saying this to Complex. I don't have anything to prove. I don't feel any pressure. I don't feel any of that. For me, it's going out there. It's playing my game. It's trying to help my team win. All right, gentlemen. If you have educated me on anything this week, Mr. Legler, it's that Philly is a tough town, right? Do you believe that Harden is feeling no pressure considering that huge blockbuster trade to get him there?
You could say things for public consumption. You can't escape the dark recesses of your own mind. When you're driving around in your car by yourself, when you're spending time in your own thoughts, there is no question in my mind he feels it, he reacts to it. Unfortunately, the reason that he is feeling it and he's reacting to it internally is because of what his track record has been. There have been moments, and you can go back to that run in Houston, usage rate off the charts. Never seen a guy play that way before. That much dribbling to get into his own shot, leading the league in scoring, #1 seed, everything. And yet there were moments, several of them. One stands out to me more than another, Game 6 against San Antonio that year. Basically, Kawhi Leonard's out. San Antonio is conceding the game to get health for a Game 7. At home in Houston, James Harden took like 2 shots in the first 16 minutes of the game. And Mike D'Antoni's sitting there going, well, how are we supposed to win now? We only play one way with you shooting the ball 25 to 30 times a game. And now you don't want to shoot tonight in the biggest game of the year. I'll never forget it. I call it the Amelia Earhart game, the Jimmy Hoffa game, whatever you want to call it, because he disappeared. That's the nickname I gave it. And there were other moments, Stephen.
And you were right to do it.
There were other moments, too. If you go back and look, it's not just that one game. So to say that he doesn't have anything to prove is just crazy talk, because even he knows that's not true. He's trying to put that front out there. This is what guys do. They try to put it out there that there's nothing you all can say to me to make you think you're inside my head. So I'm going to say this, but that's not what he really believes in his heart. There's no question in my mind. The question is, can he answer the bell? Do you, Stephen A., have confidence based on his history and track record that he will be what he needs to be to give Joel Embiid what he needs to get through not only the Toronto series, but to me, you put these two dudes together, if you're not playing for the finals, to me, it's a failed year. So I'm curious, do you have enough faith in him, and do you believe that he's not feeling it inside, particularly in that city right now?
I believe James Harden could get it done. Okay. I believe that James Harden, I think that at times he's gotten a bad rap. And what I mean by that is there have been times, like you accurately highlighted, that he didn't show up. There have been other times when the brother averaged 30 and people said it ain't enough. Averaging 28 because the shooting percentage dipped and whatever. There's a lot of guys we could look at and their shooting percentages dip and they're not as efficient come postseason time. Why? Because you're playing a best of 7. A team's got 7 games to prepare for you. They're not isolated from you. They play you a game during the regular season and you go on to play somebody else. No, when they get the opportunity to prepare for you schematically, they sit up there and they game plan for you, and it could cause you to be less efficient. And so I look at James Harden in certain respects, and I think that at times there have been people that have been harder on him by calling him a choke artist. I would not disrespect him like that. But I would tell you is this, though. He just lied. That's a damn lie, he said. What do you mean you don't feel no pressure? You must be out your damn mind. You better feel that pressure because you in Philly, bro. It's done changed. Life is different now, and you better keep that house in Houston. You better find houses other places. You don't want to live in Philly if you ain't ready to show up. Allen Iverson wasn't the most efficient offensive player we'd ever seen. He was a warrior. You knew that he was coming. He knew the expectation was he's got to bring it. And Allen Iverson stood up there every day and said, it's all right, because I'm coming. Win, lose, or draw, I'm coming. It's like a boxer that, you a knockout artist and all of a sudden you want to dance and run the whole fight. No. Now, if you lose, but you came out there swinging and it just didn't work out for you, the respect is still there. When you start running, that's a different ball game. And what James Harden just did, that's running. Because you
think he should have admitted that he feels pressure?
Absolutely.
100%.
100%.
You know what he should have said?
Come out and say, I feel pressure?
Here's what he should have said.
Doesn't that look weak?
Yeah, you're damn right I feel pressure because I'm here to get it done and help lead this team to a championship.
Exactly.
That's why they brought me in. That's what you say.
That's how Tim said it. And in a roundabout way, I'll say it to you. This is what came out my mouth if I'm James Harden.
Okay, tell me.
I know why I'm here. We all know why I'm here. We got to get it done. That's why I came here. Period. It ain't even pressure. No, I got to get it done.
Even more so, he said, I have nothing to prove.
That's insane.
I mean, that's the part to me. Like, what are you talking about?
But he knows the narrative. There's no one we talked more about that as something to prove in the playoffs than James Harden.
You're an MVP and a future Hall of Famer, led the league in scoring how many times? And you don't have a championship. Haven't been in the finals since you were back in the early days of Oklahoma City. You have probably more to prove than any player in the postseason.
Can I say this too? Yeah. And this is incredibly important because there's been a lot of rumors swirling about Doc Rivers and how he could be in trouble if they lose this series. All right? And then you hear it's because Mike D'Antoni, Daryl Morey, James Harden wants Mike D'Antoni in Philadelphia. I would remind the basketball world that D'Antoni didn't even show bad game tape clips to James Harden. PC, this is what people in the NBA community know. Tim Legler knows it. I know it. We've all heard it. People who cover the NBA know what I'm saying, okay? James Harden, to some degree, has been incredibly pacified throughout his 8 years in Houston under the Daryl Morey regime. And it's worked for him, which was fine because you were that dude and you the number one option. There's Embiid now. And so when you look at a talent like Embiid, I would tell you there's even more pressure on James Harden because of the help he has.
Don't let that dude down.
Don't let him down. Don't let him down. Because let me tell you something, Molly. Tim knows this, I know this. You can't find one person that doubts that Embiid gonna show up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone knows because he has
all season long.
Listen. He's 7 feet, Molly. Yeah. He can take you inside. He can take you outside. He can shoot threes. He can sit 37% from three-point range, 49% from the field. He can play with his back to the basket. He can hurt you dunking the ball. He can hurt you from 5 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet, 19 feet. We all know Embiid showing up.
32 and 13. That's what he's going to average no matter how many games you play.
He's showing up, and I don't give a damn.
Real quick, I want a yes or no answer, and then because we are up against it, we have to go to break. Is it fair to say that James Harden has shrunk in the playoffs in the past?
Yes.
At times.
I
don't think you can make the blanket statement like all the time. Because, look, he has had some great games.
He has had
but he's had enough of the head scratchers for us that watch it and analyze.
That's accurate.
Because
where he's better in the regular season.
Correct. You made the best point. It's not so much that you have an off shooting night. It's you're playing differently.
You're playing differently.
Yeah.
And that's what he cannot do.
No.
And some people play the best when the light shine the brightest.
But listen, again, you might not be as efficient.
Hey, look at March 10th. Look at that environment in Philadelphia, what that was like, right? One of the strangest environments ever when the Nets came in and Ben didn't play, but he was in the building. Who were the two guys that ran to the light? Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
I came to you the next day, and I said I'm at the game. Opening tap, Kyrie Irving went to James Harden. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm here for you.
They both put on a show.
Let's go. No, Kyrie busted his lip. I mean, James Harden shot 3 for 17 that night. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving shut Philly down. They were like this. Hell with y'all. Yeah. We gonna quiet this noise. Sure. They came to that. And James Harden knew they were coming and did nothing that night. Yeah. That's what stands out.
Yeah, let me get into commercial break. Staying in Philly, you get one block off. Coming up, what do the Philadelphia Eagles need to do to get over the hump? They're the focus of our latest installment of Draft Blitz. Mel Kiper Jr. wants in on the fun. My guy, it's the draft. Let's go. Good news for Warriors fans. Steph Curry could return to practice this week. He's been dealing with that foot. Will the Warriors beat the Nuggets regardless of Steph's status? We've got all the details. It's First Take.